Hey YouTube, it's Geoffrey here in Oslo. The city is giving me a rainy send-off, but I am glad to see that it's just as sad to see me go as I am to leave. I guess if you're into that sort of thing. But yes, I am on my way to Stockholm in under an hour. And I guess I should explain why I'm going through this whole rigmarole of getting to Stockholm and then back to the US. So the whole flight out of Stockholm was something that I had to do in order to check into my flight to Stockholm from Singapore, because apparently I had to show them that I planned on leaving the Schengen area when I first arrived here. Even though I actually had no intention of getting on that flight, it worked out very conveniently, because now I do need to take that flight back to New York, because in order to legally abide by the rules, I need to go take care of my visa in the United States. Now, there's nothing physically stopping me from just showing up in Belgium. I don't know, I could just hitchhike there or something. There's really no border control there. And we could just enter into an informal agreement and they'd pay me cash under the table and it would kind of work out. But we're not going to do that because we're good law-abiding citizens. And if we got caught, then they actually would be able to physically force us to, abide. That raises the question, am I just being oppressed by an arbitrary rule of the government that has guns and I don't? No, I don't think so, actually. Because the fundamental question here is whether or not there should be borders. Whether or not we should have absolute freedom of movement wherever we want to go. Now, I could point to a few examples of why that's not a good idea. First one that comes to mind for me is sensitive areas. Whether that's sensitive because it's dangerous or sensitive because us walking there could disturb it. Things like, the Arctic biome, where life there kind of exists by a thread. So I wouldn't want people just going there willy-nilly. I'd like to have some kind of control there. But also, like the urban environment. I mean, how much can a city take? Take a place like Reykjavik. There are like 10 times as many tourists who go through that city than who actually live there. And it's taking a toll. I had a conversation with a friend yesterday, and his visit to Reykjavik made him reconsider how much he's actually traveling, and I've thought about the same thing, but also in terms of the actual impact of movement. I mean, I'm gonna get on a train that's electric, which is cool. That electricity has to come from somewhere, and most of the time our form of transportation is powered by fossil fuels. And I think you can watch any other video on this channel to understand the issues regarding that. So, I guess the question of who gives the Belgian government the right to restrict my movement into their country? Well, I do. We do. Because, frankly, I like having borders. And we can debate all day about how porous these borders should be and who should be able to come in and who shouldn't, but the fact is, borders exist and they serve a good purpose. They allow us to control people. And honestly, sometimes people need some controlling. And how we decide that is, it could be a queue, it could be first come, first serve, could be a lottery, but in this case, it's kind of based on merit. Not only did I have to prove that I was capable of doing the job, I also had to prove that I was more capable than any European citizen to do the job. And that was a bit of a hurdle. So I'm honestly kind of surprised that I was able to find a job as quickly as I did. But it's not that bad of a process. And for those of us who are abiding by the rules, well, it's a minor inconvenience to do what we really want to do. And once this process is over, I'll basically be free to act as I please, regarding other ethical and legal rules there are. So that's my 2 cents on the debate, and I've actually got a thesis to read, much on the same topic, and I've also got 5 hours on the train to Stockholm. Talk to you there.